On March 10, the official account of White House posted a picture of Mahmoud Khalil on X, a scholar from Columbia University, stating Shalom Mahmoud, which in Hebrew means goodbye Mahmoud. Mahmoud Khalil is a Syrian-born Palestinian activist and a green card holder who was detained by the US police for his activism against Israel for committing genocide in Gaza. A series of occupation protests by pro-Palestinian students occurred at Columbia University in New York City. The protest began on April 17 when students established an encampment of approximately 50 tents on campus, calling it Gaza Solidarity Encampment. These protests demanded severing financial ties with Israel, ending partnership with Israeli institutions, and amnesty for protesters. Mahmoud was involved in pro-Palestinian protest in Columbia University, particularly during the Gaza Solidarity Encampment. His role was crucial as he led negotiations between student and university administration. Many universities relied on police to forcibly disband encampment and end occupation of buildings. Several others made agreements with protesters for encampment to be dismantled, and others cut ties with Israeli institutions and companies involved with Israel and its occupied territories. However, the pro-Palestinian protest and encampment were met with strong opposition and doxing campaigns by Zionist groups. Earlier this year, Shai Davide, a Columbia professor who had previously been banned from campus for harassment, posted to X appealing ICE to take strong action against Khalil, whom he called a terrorist supporter. Following the threats and intimidation, a day before his arrest, Mahmoud had mailed the university administration to provide legal support, but the administration did not pay any heed to his request. On March 8, Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents arrested Khalil following President Donald Trump's executive orders. Trump had called Mahmoud a radical foreign pro-Hamas student. Khalil's wife explained the circumstances of his arrest. On March 8, while they were returning from an iftar dinner, an ICE official followed them home, and within minutes of confrontation, they took him into a street and forced him in an unmarked car. Mahmoud was abducted and disappeared by ICE. No family member was able to locate him. After 48 hours of the arrest, he was located thousands of miles away from his home in a detention facility in Louisiana. POTUS X handle stated that this is the first arrest of many to come. We will find, apprehend and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again. Trump clearly mentioned if your presence is contrary to our national and foreign policy interest, you are not welcome here. He has called upon the university administration to comply with these new executive orders. Columbia University administration seems to be complicit in this repression. The university has disclosed students' records to Congress, yielding to Trump's latest threats. 22 students have been suspended, some stripped of their BA degree just before graduation. Khalil's detention is seen as a part of a broader Trump administration strategy to suppress dissent. These unconstitutional arrests and deportations are terrorizing the scholars, educators and universities in the state. Ranjani Srinivasan, an Indian student from Columbia University, self-deported themselves from the country in March 2nd week, days after their student visa was revoked for participating in pro-Palestinian protest. Badr Khan Suri, another postdoctoral fellow at Georgetown University, was also detained by immigration authorities outside his home in Roslyn neighborhood of Arlington, Virginia on March 17th. Badr had completed his PhD in Peace and Conflict Studies from Jamia Millia Islamia in 2020. His lawyers have filed a petition in federal court in Alexandria, Virginia. Suri is being punished because of his Palestinian heritage of his wife, who is a US citizen. His lawyer stated that couple had long been doxxed and smeared by far-right websites due to their support for Palestinian rights. These arrests and detention institutionalizes a blanket idea of anti-Semitism to counteract the growing popularity of the pro-Palestinian movement. At stake are not just pro-Palestinian voices, but the fundamental civil liberties of all. On March 18th, Mahmoud Khalil dictated a letter from the ICE detention center in Louisiana. I'm a political prisoner. My arrest was a direct consequence of exercising my right to free speech, as I advocated for a free Palestine and an end to the genocide in Gaza, which resumed in full force on Monday night. It is our moral imperative to persist in the struggle for their complete freedom. Who has the right to have the right? It is certainly not the humans crowded into cells here. I think of Gaza hospital director and pediatrician Dr. Hussam Abu Safia, who was taken captive by Israeli military on December 27 and remains in an Israeli torture camp today. For Palestinians, imprisonment without due process is commonplace. Khalil has called upon the students, advocates, and elected officials to unite and defend the right to protest for Palestine. In the span of 2 years, Al Jazeera reported Israel has killed more than 62,614 Palestinians.